Oh, hello there. I didn't hear you come in. I mean, how could I hear you come in? There are no sounds for when you come in. This is not AOL Instant Messenger. This is not AOL Instant Messenger. Welcome to twitch.tv/furblindgamer for another Short Horror Saturday. And this will be a Short Horror Saturday. I know I had said I was initially going to stream yesterday, move things up a little bit, but I wanted to do it, my stream tonight, because as I mentioned before, my good friend Purpsel is doing his first stream today. So I figure we'll stream for about an hour and mutilate some zombies in the bloodiest way possible, and then go raid him and support him, because it's always fun to support new people. Yeah, apparently, I don't know if you guys heard, but there's like some game got released recently. It was like Resident Large Vampires Go to Town or something. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. I can't keep up with all these new games. Like, I think they're up to Call of Duty 5 now, and Silent Hill 6, and probably Sonic the Hedgehog 5. Yeah. Since everybody else and their sister's cat's grandmother will be streaming The Village, and I can only assume wearing white dresses and sun hats, I decided to stream a couple of older zombie games. One's not that old. It's 8-bit Zombie Survival 3D, and it looks kind of like the excellent 8-bit Killer, but it was only released in 2014, and we haven't had any update to it since, so maybe it's dead, I don't know. And then I was going to play through Crisis Evil, which I've kind of been putting off playing for, I don't know, 14 years? I do that. But basically, it's a beat-em-up game based on Resident Evil with actual guns. It's pretty fun, I think. Certainly looks fun. Yeah. Since, the newest cutting-edge Resident Evil is in the air, why not take a look at something that's Resident Evil, but a lot more basic than the original Resident Evil? Yeah, I'll go ahead and boot up 8-bit Zombie Survival. Oh, good, it's all ready. Sometimes I do things right. Let's see. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I don't know if I said that earlier. Ah, there we go. I can hear it perfectly now. Incidentally, I also still need a haircut. One of these days, when the pandemic's over. Or at least, when it's been 2 weeks since my last shot. There we go. As you can see, it's one of those Wolfenstein-esque games, or slightly more primitive, I guess. And you have your life bar and a stamina bar. And your fire axe, which takes quite a toll on your stamina. Quite a bit of realism, that. I did play a demo of this game quite a long time ago, and then I forgot about it until recently. Oh, hello. You're running at me, so I can only assume you're a zombie, given the title. And this is one of the alpha releases, but since there hasn't been any work on it for so long, I'm kind of assuming it's more or less canceled at this point. So it either takes 2 or 3 bars off your stamina every time you swing the axe. It's interesting. There have been a bunch of different kind of retro game templates / engines similar to this, I guess, between like, I don't know, 2003, 2000, and 2017. They're kind of similar to the Wolfenstein style, but a little more primitive because the enemies always face you. And it's interesting because there were so few games that were like that were actually released in the early 90s. Okay, I can think of Catacomb series and Hover Tank 3D. Not a whole lot of others. Like even the console games, the enemies like could turn away and not always be completely facing you. Well, at least like by the time of Zero Tolerance. A key. When in doubt, press use on a wall. Okay, that's health. Good to know. Very fast zombies. They have like Land of the Dead or 28 Days Later have fast zombies. I can't remember. I haven't seen that in years. I did see that, and then I saw the first sequel. A gun. We have a gun. Guns are extremely useful in the zombie apocalypse. Well, especially, 20th century guns. I mean, I don't know that I would particularly like to have a, 18th century musket to fight the zombies with, but one takes what one can get. For example, this zombie can get an axe blade to the face, so he takes it. Yep. Dead people don't understand a lot, but they do seem to understand that. Once again, I am trying to conserve my ammo entirely too much. Okay. I will not make the same mistake again. I ever wonder how much it would cost to have, push walls, secret push walls installed in your house? A fair amount, probably. I shouldn't have been running so much. But hey, sometimes it was easy to just always keep your finger on the shift button in some of those older games. So they all take either 3 or 4 hits. Is that 8-bit mobile? That would be terrible to try and make calls on. Oh, I think I only took 2. Maybe it's a random roll of the dice. Wait, get this key first. No, there wasn't a key here, was there? Oh, there's a key and a zombie. Ah, hey, Artyom Havoc. Thanks for coming by. How are you doing tonight? There it is. I may need that health shortly. Oh, right. I want to forget everybody. Please go check out Artyom Havoc, who is the guy who does the 1-hour streams, which are often 2 hours, but are fun. And also plays a lot of Star Wars games. And what was it you're playing? Was it the Hidden Danger? Oh no, the Line, that's right. Which was funny, Havoc, because I remembered you played the first Spec Ops game. Was it last week? And then you played The Line, which was one of the last Spec Ops games. So maybe you should play all the ones in between eventually, or try them. But seriously, guys, please go follow Havoc. Oh yeah, also I was starting to say, I never could get used to playing like Wolfenstein and Doom with a mouse, but these modern like sub-Wolfenstein retro games, it does feel easier to use the mouse. Or maybe that's just because I've gotten more used to it. Yeah, pretty interesting week, Havoc. Well, that's good. It's always good when you get to try a nice variety of games. Not games that you would always expect would go well together. And I hope your weekend's going well. I think since it is, an alpha release, this game only has a handful of levels. Me, I'm going to not conserve my ammo. Also me, conserves ammo ridiculously. Well, hey, if you don't conserve it when you have it, how can you conserve it when you don't have it? That's just like facts. Can't argue with facts. Well, you can. I'm sure I sometimes do. Some of the zombies look different. Oh. Zombies killed, 10 out of 14. Secrets found. Meh, whatever. more concerned with survival up in here. Yeah. Of course, then watch there be like a cap. You can only carry 40 bullets or something. It's kind of nice that they have the HUD at the top of the screen, because you don't really need to see the bottom of the screen in this kind of game. Now, where did you come from? Over there, I'll be bound. Can you read that? No. Just decoration. Yeah. Oh, you wake them up and you don't know where they're coming from. Is that? You can walk through those. Uh-oh. Is that just my style, or do first-person zombie games often end up with running backwards while attacking? Oh. The universal sound of door locked, cannot open. Sounds a whole lot like the universal sound of I am bearing an axe into the flesh of dead people. Speaking of the flesh of dead people, interesting looking elevator. Very retro. And therefore, in keeping with the game, I suppose. Is that a... oh. Maybe all the locked doors are color-coded. That makes sense. It's certainly nice when they give you an indication of that. Ah. I wonder if this is one of those games where the ammo applies to whichever gun you hold, like when you pick it up. Or maybe all the guns use the same ammo. See, I picked up that ammo while I was holding the axe, so maybe that meant it all vanished. I would not presume to know. Seems empty enough in here, though. Right this way. I guess zombies will always be an antagonist in horror games and movies and stuff, because, you know, they're so easy to, you don't really need to explain them much, and you don't need to feel bad about killing them, because they're already dead. And sometimes it's nice to have a monster that's, like, easy to outwit. Weirdly, I moved so quickly, I think my mouse moved out of the screen. Oh, or maybe just my zoom window moved. That's funny. A note to self. Try and keep your movements small. Try and stay calm. Yes, the zombies are running towards you, intent on sinking their teeth into your flesh. But at least they're nice and quiet about it. And remember, the zombies bear you no more malice than you bear a cheeseburger. God damn it, now I want a cheeseburger. Isn't that one faster? I think so. Really should try and figure out what's the maximum amount of ammo you can have. That's what I always used to do in FPSs, is figure out the maximum amount and then, you know, pick up everything until I was close to that, and then try and keep all my weapons at maximum. Just in case. In case what? I don't know. There was a final boss that required 90% of the bullets from every gun you held. Ah, shoot. Yeah, is it just me, or does this city not have many cars? Just a whole bunch of tractor trailers. Maybe that's because somebody brought the zombies into the city in tractor trailers. To wake up both of them. I should say alert both of them. I'm sure they weren't actually asleep on their feet. Sort of in a zombie holding pattern. This one? No, that was the one that was locked. Yeah, I found secrets, but now I'm trying to remember where I found them. Okay, this one place only has the one door. Did I say that I wasn't going to conserve my ammo to a ridiculous degree? I probably did. I certainly hope you didn't believe me. Even I know better than that. Yeah, this game isn't especially deep, but it's kind of fun. Where did you come from? I will say this, the limited draw distance outside actually kind of makes it so you have to plan more. So that didn't change. My ammunition. Okay. Well, like you're always wondering, did I stray slightly too far and just woke up a zombie that's too far to see? I kind of assumed that was an aesthetic choice, not demanded by the technology. You know, I can't tell what those little round things are that we pick up for health. That certainly surprised me. Sometimes the mouse seems really sensitive, and I wonder if it's because of some setting I need to change, or if it's because I've, zoomed in or made the window larger. I don't know. Right. definitely recognize that place. I'm just thinking about it, even the sound effects sound very 8-bit, like reminiscent of the NES. That must be ammo for a gun we've yet to find. Or it increases our score, but since I don't see any score on screen, I think if left to my own devices, I'll just go around pushing every wall in the place, like even when there's not a texture, just trying to find secrets. I blame like stone aliens of gold. Also my own brain, but mostly Blackstone aliens of gold. Winchester! Nice. I see what you did there, game designers. It's a great movie, really. There ain't nobody here but us zombies. There ain't nobody here at all. 3 of them. Entirely too many. Well, I was lucky to get out of that intact, wasn't I? Wait, was there health I didn't grab? Anyway, that was... Here. Maybe not, maybe I snagged it all. You know, that makes me think, we haven't seen... Have we seen zombie chickens in any games? I've seen zombie ducks. I can't think of zombie chickens. There's a key, but what I could use is some ammunition. Thus said everybody who ever played a survival horror game. Oh yeah, you can't save in between levels. I think it autosaves. Or at least you can restart at the start of each level. I don't know that you can close the game and then restart. That, you know, that's some highly sophisticated technology right there. Right up there with floppy disks. And since this is practically on the Nintendo Entertainment System, you can't necessarily hold it to those standards. I'm just glad they don't make us input 30-character long passwords. I'll have to be a little more careful. There it is. I mean, that would be such a simple but effective mechanic to increase the tension, as if, like, each of the bad guys, that, yeah, even if they looked the same, took a random number of hits, even if it were just between 2 and 4. Because then you can't just guess how many times you have to shoot them or get into a rhythm. It'll be different every time. So those little barriers can stop you, they just can't stop the zombies. The zombies just hop right over them. Very athletic zombies. Okay. Right. There. That was the secret I kept forgetting. And lo and behold, more ammo. And health. But we'll save that, you know. Leftovers. We'll make hash of it. And what do you want me to do with the 63 jars of hash? This old Benny, Jack Benny joke. It is empty, right? Suspicious. Let's see if anybody has dropped a key to a random building in the park. Let's also see if the park is full of zombies. Let's see if these zombies in the park had stayed home, I wouldn't have to kill them now. So, what do you think about it? It's really safer if you don't go to the park. In fact, stay home. Never know when a zombie apocalypse might strike. Stupid zombies. Stupid but deadly. Most unpleasant combination. I'm trying to be cautious here. Not know there's another one behind that one. Getting disoriented. Looks the same. Which way did... Is this the way I haven't been? I think? Yeah. These levels are surprisingly big. I mean, for the second level. Yeah, maybe it's partly the outdoor setting and the skybox that make me think that. Too easy to get stuck on the scenery in this place. Okay, so that's another locked door. We didn't get the key in the park this time. I gotta find that and then guess as to which door it fits. Though if it fits the dark one, that'd be nice. Should be obvious. Unless they have both red and black doors. That's just the kind of thing they would do. Zombies, not developers. Developers too, though. Zombie game developers. Okay. I think we're closer to the one beyond the park, so we'll try that first. And hope nothing unfortunate has spawned since we last wandered this way. Regrettable. It'd be nice if they gave you unlimited stamina when there were no zombies that close, so you could travel back and forth quicker. That's the one with nothing, but I will grab that health. bet you two weren't here before. And you zombies, you can't just hide in walls and then burst out whenever you like. Nothing there. Nothing else here. Is it an elevator? Which in this game are useless. I think it's an elevator, I don't. Say hello to the 21st century. I like. There wasn't a key in there, and that was the only dark-colored locked door. I think. Let's come back here because they've been changing the terrain up. But no, this room is still empty. Sometimes a door is a door, and sometimes it's a painting on the wall. Don't believe me? Ask Wile E. Coyote. Was it this one? I do believe so. Key, yes. Door. Zombie. At this point, I'm just randomly saying objects I see. Computer monitor. Cup of tea. The fact that they're giving me this much ammo makes me a little worried. Like, is there going to be a boss coming up? Is this just actually a really long game? Yeah, I better get that. Whatever it is, we've got another key. I don't believe there are any more locked doors here. Yes, we're just wandering through the darkened city. Hoping nobody else decided to come to the park and then get zombified. Wondering whether that's the moon or that building just has a very glowy, very curved roof. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but the moon in real life seldom looks as large as it does in video games. Ooh, exit. Statistics, okay, I got everything. See, now I don't just say that I don't care, I'm too cool. Now I can care since I already got everything. day 3. I finished killing the zombies in the drab building with square rooms, and I found myself in a drab building with square rooms. I began to wonder if the zombies had had an effect on our architecture. I saw a grocery store across from my current drab building with square rooms, which made me think the stupid Ralph's near my house was going to be closing down next week. Something about underperforming stores or hating poor neighborhoods, I couldn't remember which. And that got me thinking, if this were a real zombie apocalypse, I wouldn't be able to get to the store because it would be closed. Unless they put a Trader Joe's in where the Ralphs used to be. And even in a zombie apocalypse, I wasn't going to spend that kind of money on my groceries. Trader Joe's is all very well and good, but an apple is an apple, no matter which way you slice it. Damn it, now I want applesauce. I feel like that's how my mind sometimes works. Like, if food gets mentioned, it's like, "You're a good egg, sis." "What did you say, mister?" "I said you're a good egg." "Egg? I'm hungry." "Oh, get out of here." I've got 61 bullets. Don't have to be worried about hitting things with an axe. Except maybe wood. If I come across some wood in this game and I need it for a fireplace, I'll hit it with an axe. Or a machine gun. Drugstore. Come on, guys, let's have some more funny businesses here. I'm busy looking at the businesses. I don't notice the zombie right around the corner. Let's see if we can't find a spot of health before we tackle that area. A spot of death. There must be one behind me, but where did he come from? That's what I'd like to know. No, I did not refill my life. I must do it. Oh, I guess I got that one. How many are there? I suppose it has to take place in a big city, because it wouldn't be quite as exciting if, everybody started turning into zombies and you were, on a farm with 5 acres, 10 miles into the county. Oh, good. I don't have to worry about machine gun ammo for a while. Especially not if I keep swapping to the pistol. Swapping, switching, swipping, swatching. Language. Of course, I also don't have to worry about ammunition if I get torn to strips of bleeding flesh by the dead people. Don't know which way to go by that narrow alleyway. It looks like it'll make a nasty bottleneck when I try and come out of it. 8-bit pizza. Does the 8-bit corporation run this entire town? Be sinister. Yeah. I mean, it is called 8-bit zombies. Maybe the 8-bit corporation created the zombies. Yeah. Nobody was buying their video games, so they were like, we should make dead people wander around and kill everybody who didn't buy our video games. That'll teach them. I'm like, that will also kill them. I fail to see how this is going to increase your profits over the next quarter. But then I never did study marketing or business or enterprise or economics. Or basic tax law, for that matter. A key. Wait. I don't know if it's just me, but I keep getting lost here. Okay, no, this isn't where I thought. For about 3 seconds, I thought I knew where I was. And then I realized, nope, I was lost. Yeah, you see one alleyway crawling with zombies, you've seen them all. Okay. We've maxed out all our ammo. That's the goal, right? Remember, it's not hoarding if it only takes place in a fictitious world. Which would have disturbing implications for things like Second Life and World of Warcraft. But then, I don't dabble in those. I know better. I'm sure that would be extremely fun. Yeah, maybe I should start streaming World of Warcraft next week. Just play through the whole game. Try and get 100%. I think the cool kids are still playing that. Or is that Warcraft 2? I don't know. Wait, oh no, this is... I've been here before. Okay, now the narrow alleyway is back this way. Maybe jewelry, right? But not 8-bit jewelry. That's how I knew I hadn't been here before. And it turned out to be a surprisingly safe intersection. But hey, we got that key. This backtracking is generally good. More keys yet to find. Yeah. Did I get turned around completely? Is this... Have we been here before? I feel like I say that entirely too much in games. We can't mean, can we? Does this level make a giant loop and I just failed to notice it somehow? Maybe it does. Because this is... Okay, yeah. Right, and this is where we have been or where we haven't been. There's more of the former than the latter. Knock on wood. Locked door by the bakers. Oh. I was back here all along. Except there's no keys, just a bunch of ammunition and health. No, not that I'm complaining. I like ammunition and health as much as the next person. In fact, I think I'll have a nice glass of ammunition and health after this stream. what flavor of ammunition do you guys really like? I know this place down in Venice Beach that makes really great nougat-filled slugs. Hard put to think of any projectile I'd rather eat. Ooh. Except for those death by chocolate bazooka shells they used to have back in Williamsburg. But I think those were made by professional chefs / weapons developers, so they're kind of in a league of their own. I have no idea what I'm talking about. At this point, I'm trying to head back to the start of the... Oh, maybe there's a turn I hadn't taken towards the start. Hey, backlog cabin. Stream of consciousness. Thanks. Stream of consciousness coma. I don't know, that might be even more interesting if I were just rambling about nonsense while I was in a coma. And we're back at the Winchester. Just from a different angle. That's right. I just shoved a truck like 10 yards. I'm badass. And how are you doing, Backlog? How's your weekend going? New gun? No, just another... Wait, yeah. Oh, shotgun. Shotguns are great for dealing with zombies. I have seen the movies. Just relaxing. Oh, that's awesome. It is nice to have a relaxing weekend sometimes, especially if you don't have work. And unfortunately, too much of the time, I feel like the weekend is the time to get done things that I put off during the week. Using up ammo faster, but I like the shotgun. Quite a bit. Been working every day in a row since Tuesday. You've still got until this Tuesday? Sounds like a lot of work, Backlog. I'm glad you get some time to relax. Hey, Hessian, how are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming by. Hope you're doing well. That's right. I've been getting remiss. Everybody, please go check out Backlog Cabin, who streams a bunch of different games, including some old ones, and has a completely awesome toad who eats giant spiders. Oh, you just started work? Oh, gotcha. Well, thanks for coming by, and also please check out Haggard Hessian, who, like me, enjoys horror games and has recently been streaming all the Resident Evil games, at least the good ones. And yeah, you're playing the new one, which just came out today. How have you been enjoying it so far, Hessian? Or yesterday, I guess. Oh yeah, of course. Means a lot that you guys come by. Wow, it's really good. It's awesome. Intense. Oh, so that's what I was going to ask. It was actually scary. And I know some of the horror games, bloody but not scary. But I'm glad if this one is actually keeping it pretty intense. How far are you into it? I assume it's got to be reasonably long since so many people have been looking forward to it so much. Was this the place I just was? 1/4 of the way. Oh, and the castle with the tall lady. Oh yeah, I came from this direction. Nice, that's really exciting. And hopefully it'll be one of those games that, bears replaying a few times. I just came from here. And it's funny, I've seen people call her the tall lady, and it always makes me think of the tall man from the Phantasm movies. I wonder if there's going to be crossover between those two, at least in fan fiction. Yeah. I might give it a few months, but... Plus there's Mercenaries. I don't know that. Is that DLC for Resident Evil 8? Oh no, I have been here. Alright, this was that big open space. Full of zombies. Oh, like a horde mode. Gotcha. It's like a nice way to expand the game. They do each have their own ammo. She's the nemesis of that game? Do you mean like the final boss backlog? Or is that like a specific reference? There's somebody named the Nemesis in another game. Oh. There's some enemies that follow around and you can hide from. Interesting. Which does make it kind of a different kind of horror. You want to be able to get fiber at your house? Backlog. Fiber. Ah, I assume you mean fiber optic cable, not like Raisin Bran. I mean, I hope you can get Raisin Bran at your house. I hope you can get Raisin Bran at your house now. Fiber sponsored. Or Fiber speed. Fiber speed. It's like Fiber sponsored. What? Maybe it is the food. Maybe they'll be like, the people who eat our breakfast cereal are also really good at killing vampires and zombies. I'm burning through my ammo. Oh, they were going to put the fiber in last year and the landlord said no. What exactly is the landlord's issue? I would love to hear him offer an explanation. Coming from somebody in a house with literally no insulation. It's always fun to see like the inspectors and maintenance people react with shock. Like, there's no insulation in these walls. I'm like, yeah, well, it's okay. I just turn up the heater. Oh wait, that would increase the utility bill. Scratch that. So we got another key. I don't know, maybe after this level I'll move on to the other game. Because I did. This is certainly going on longer than I expected. That is all that's here, right? Yeah, it's just that. Saying it looked like there was a railing overlooking the ocean or a harbor or something. Maybe we'll have to deal with aquatic zombies. I know you were playing Resident Evil, Haggard. What was it you were playing, Backlog? Last? I know I just shouted you out and I forgot to read it myself. I think I caught your last stream. Yeah. The last thing that any landlord would want to change. Because they probably don't know how it works. I don't know if it would cost them any money to replace it, but they're probably leery, like, I don't like things I can't understand. Besides, it only benefits the tenant, and they ain't gonna pay me more if they get fiber optics, so... That's my impression of a landlord. Oh right, you were playing Star Wars Arcade on the 32X. Which was awesome. Ah, and not again till next week. Gotcha. I know. So many other things to keep us busy. But that was really cool, that game. And yeah, that was so much more complicated than the arcade game. Which, I mean, I would kind of expect. Oh yeah, sure thing. Oh right, because then everybody was discussing, well, what other good games are there on the 32X? Most of us are like, well, I've never actually touched one, but I read a magazine article 20 years ago that said this game might be good. Am I going in circles again? I have to... Wait, there's the jewelry store, was it? I know the level loops. I mean, has a loop in it, not loops. Must be careful with verbs. Oh, Doom on the 32X. And a tongue sticking out. I'm guessing that wasn't your favorite port of Doom, Ashen. And that Star Wars Mortal Kombat 2. Ah. Yeah, it did seem like, you know, a bunch of the games on the 32X were ports. Like, they had a better version of Virtua Racing than the Genesis and Virtua Fighter. Oh my god, is Artyom going to stream Doom 32X? That would be funny. I mean, he could try doing something like, streaming all the versions of Doom that aren't on extremely ridiculous consoles and computers, because Old School J already did that. I'm getting lost again. Wouldn't put it past him, right? I feel like a bunch of us have these backlogs of games that we've been meaning to get to, or I don't know, like some of the games I stream are things I've been meaning to get to, and others are like, I want to play this again. And, show it to everybody else, so now I have an excuse to. Scott Pippen FMV on the 32X. Oh. An FMV on the... Now that'd be interesting. Like, FMV game on a cartridge. Even if it's a more powerful cartridge. Yeah, it seems like most of them are pricey since it never sold that well. There are a lot of them out there. Like, a lot. Damn, if I didn't have that secret shotgun, I would be in a bad way. 2 ways. You either play one game and nothing else till you finish it, or start it and go back to it months/years later. I get that, Hesh, and there have been a few games like that I really liked, but, I put off finishing, or I just got distracted or busy and then came back to it later. And more the latter backlog as of late. Oh. Yeah, really a lot. But in a way, I think streaming can make us more accountable, or me at least, because then I'm like, it's crazy to talk about being accountable with games, but it's like, for one thing, it's the impetus to start games that you would otherwise put off, and then it's, if you start them on stream, for me at least, sometimes I feel obligated to finish them. I mean, unless they're really bad, maybe. Or unless they're Ghost Pirates of Vuju Island, which won't work unless you stick it in an air condition and then subject the air condition to radiation so the freon melts and dribbles on the CD-ROM. And then you can stick it in your computer, and then stick your computer inside a Windows 98 computer, and then maybe Ghost Pirates of Vuju Island will work. Oh, couldn't agree more, backlog. It is, there are so many good games. I think it's good that as we have that little nudge to make us actually play them, instead of just replaying the same ones or playing the bad ones. 82 out of 82. Thank you for playing 8-bit Zombie Survival 3D Alpha version. Beta version due... Well, this came out in 2014, so I'm guessing we'll get to the beta by 2015. Oh, it automatically quit. I say. Very impatient of it. Well, that's alright. Well, that was okay. Probably more fun to play through than to watch, but... kind of good for a simple arcade FPS, especially if you like the retro style. Kind of a shame they didn't continue it and make more, or at least finish that game. That's got me thinking about how good 8-Bit Killer was, because they are so similar, and maybe I should play that on stream someday. And I also wonder if anybody's actually made an FPS that runs on an 8-bit system. Like, obviously not while they were current, but in later days. Anyway, I should go ahead and boot this up. The other game I was going to play, since it is Resident Evil season, and zombies are in the air, is called Crisis Evil, which is a beat-em-up, which, as we all know, I quite like. It was made with the Beats of Rage engine, which is kind of now called OpenBOR, but was... Yeah, I wonder about that backlog. Beats of Rage was a really good beat-em-up game that was released in 2004, I think, when not many other beat-em-ups were being made anymore, and it had a really good engine that lets you make mods and basically new games without too much trouble, so there've been a whole lot made over the last 15 years, and Crisis Evil was one of the early ones, which basically is a Resident Evil fan game done as a beat-em-up, and does some creative things with the engine and has pretty decent looking sprites. I kind of wonder if they were ripped, like a fair number of the beat-em-up games did rip the sprites, or if they were made by the author. And there's also a sequel, which Crisis Evil 2, which I never played. But I guess I never played Crisis Evil 1. I only tried one level. Yeah, maybe I'll try not turning on text-to-speech, just leaving the overlay, since, you know, it's in a window and doesn't need that much precision to see. Wait, which... I have entirely too many Explorer windows open. Not developed or endorsed by Capcom, just in case you were wondering. Explicit violence and gore. I mean, it's much preferable to subtle violence and gore. And yeah, if you like beat-em-ups and you haven't checked out Beats of Rage or any of the games that use OpenBOR, I highly recommend those. I still haven't played an actual Resident Evil game. I kind of wanted to start from the beginning, and I've got both the GameCube version and the PlayStation 1 version. At some point, maybe I'll stream them. Also the PC port. I think I only have Resident Evil 2. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool backlog, I think. Well, if there's one thing I've learned from Golden Axe, it's that you should always play as the hot babe, because she's a better balanced character and probably has more magic. That's the only reason. What happened here? I don't know, but... Oh. What's that? I don't know, but it looks... Freeze! RPD! It's useless, Jill. We'll have to kill everything inside as messily as possible, I think. Don't know why the cutscenes are going so fast. Maybe this because this game was made with the original Beats of Rage engine, and I'm playing with OpenBOR on modern computers. Yes, backlog, it is a Dreamcast. That's right, because Beats of Rage was originally released for Dreamcast and DOS, And then, even though it was like, maybe it was 2002, because DOS was easiest to port. And then it was probably ported to Windows and PSP and everything else. But yeah, Dreamcast was one of the things it was originally for. But yeah, it's interesting. You have unlimited ammo and has an unusually long range for a beat 'em up. But the enemies are also a lot more deadly if they get too close. Oh, super bootleg, yeah. I mean, the original one just straight up used sprites from, like, the old SNK arcade games, like Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting. Because they were like, these sprites are going to be better than anything we make, and it's Freeware fan games, so. Interesting, yeah, experimental scene. Yeah, I agree, Heshen, this does look like it has good graphics compared to a lot of them. And I wonder if they built the sprites on top of the original Beats of Rage ones that were ripped from the SNK games. Oh, MV. Marvel vs. Capcom? Is that what that is, Backlog? That would explain why they look so good. Yeah. Interesting, so there are zombies in Marvel vs. Capcom. Because isn't Marvel vs. Capcom a one-on-one fighting game, or am I thinking of something else? I never really got into those fighting games much. I personally preferred beat-em-ups. It was, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. But hey, awesome that they had zombies in it. I can just imagine zombies in a fighting game. Like, and how messy that would get. Oh, it's Jill's special move, because, so Jill was a character in Marvel vs. Capcom. Awesome. Yeah, since I never played those, was Marvel vs. Capcom a good series? I think it was a series. Was it at least a good game? Maybe I didn't care for fighting games as much because I usually wasn't as good at them. Or it took more patience to memorize the combos for so many. There's the beat-em-ups. They usually have fewer combos, and you can learn them more by feel. Oh, the Saturn versions were direct arcade ports. Wow. So it must have looked pretty good. And hopefully played pretty good too. You can't throw them good. Oh, the PlayStation 1 version compromised the lag. That's not the jump button. That's the jump button. Oh, yay. I killed the otherwise undistinguishable but somehow powerful Mr. Zombie. Ew, the sewer reeks of death. This totally beats going topside. Well, true. Let's continue through this, and see why zombies are everywhere. When I can't finish the cutscene, I'll just make up what they say. I figure it's close enough. Liquor. That noise they make. I've heard that noise before, but I couldn't tell you where. Some arcade game or other game. Those things are pretty disgusting. Yeah, I can see how it's going to be easy to get overrun in later levels. And do they not do throw damage? Night Slash. Oh my gosh, they finally released Night Slashers on a console backlog? That's awesome. Because I read about that, from arcades. And I must have played a ROM at some point. Because that had such really cool graphics, surprisingly bloody enemies. I think I even... Oh yay, I ate a geranium. I think I included that when I had to give my internship a list of games to consider adapting into movies or TV. That's awesome that it's on the Switch. I should check that out. Oh, you used to play it as a kid at the roller rink? That's neat. Yeah, a fair amount of our taste in arcade games was just determined by what the local arcade or the restaurants or gas stations or other places near our house happened to have. The element of chance makes it so interesting. I really wish more places did that, just had one or two video games in a place. Oh. Oh, we're Chris now. Your best friend brought me, and we stopped at the skating hall all the time. Oof. So we do have special moves in this game. That sounds really awesome. I guess it's just partly that the arcade games are so big and expensive now. Wow. Okay, it's really easy to get overrun. Yikes. Okay, so you gotta use the shotgun, which is like his dash move to keep them away. That's the only ranged attack he has, it looks like. Yeah, for all the jokes, I think Jill might actually be the better character in this. I killed whichever indistinguishable enemy was slightly more in charge. Jill was always a better character. Oh, glad to make it out of that smelly-ass sewer. I wonder if there's any more survivors. At any rate, check your equipment. Roger that. Looks like there were survivors in this helicopter. At any rate, let's go to try and find help. Let's hurry up and kill things. Yeah, I was going to ask, since I figure you know the games pretty well, Heshen, if like, some of the characters were better, or if there was much difference between them in the early games. Oh, she had a bigger inventory. Yeah, in a game that's, you know, where resource management is a significant part of it, I can see why a bigger inventory would be damned useful. Oh shoot, a bat. Or a crow. And always annoying those freaking falcons in Knights of the Round. These are very low-flying crows. She had a larger inventory and a lockpick. Ah, but Chris had a lighter. And if Jill got a lighter, it took an inventory spot. Gotcha. Can see how a lighter would be pretty useful. Especially if they were dark sections. Jeez. The lighter was Chris's lockpick. The zombies sounded so subdued when they died. Almost like they were taking a nap. Cerberus. That's right. I remember I had a strategy guide for the 3DO version of Resident Evil, which I got at the library book sale for 50 cents back in like 2013. And it said there was like a Easter egg or something where if you tried to go out of the house through a certain door, it would play an actual movie clip of your character opening the door and then a Cerberus snapping its head and trying to bite your hand off. I'm like, wow, that must have been quite startling if you weren't expecting it. Yeah. But these Cerberi only have one head. What a ripoff. Yeah, 3DO Resident Evil. Should tell. Yeah, old school Jay. Since he likes 3DO, he'd be probably interested to hear it. I'm pretty sure it was for Resident Evil. I mean, for 3DO. And I think also from that same library book sale, I got a couple of books of, 3DO secrets for a whole bunch of games for the system. Yeah. It's amazing what one can find at a library book sale. Especially the ones that still accept donations of computer games sometimes. Okay, maybe I'm getting the hang of this a little more. After having burned through 2 credits. Said, oh, you slept on that system, never realized the potential. Seems like a lot of people, like, maybe even the developers and critics didn't fully realize its potential. Although I know there were other things that, made it a less desirable product. Like the price tag. one of those systems, though, it would be fun to play more games from. And if we got more ports of some of those 3DO games. That's what I really loved the PC version of Killing Time, which is now out on Steam, but it's more a completely rebuilt version of the game than a port. Oh, you always associate with the Jaguar and the CDI. Yeah, it's like right around the same time, you know. Consoles that had some cool stuff and cool capabilities but never caught on. The Jaguar CD. It's weird to see, like, or interesting to see what they would do with, you know, some of those CD-based games where sometimes they were really similar to just a console-based game and just the slightly better graphics or not, and just cutscenes and better audio. And I guess thinking more of the Sega CD for that. Interesting how they make this work. I know that sometimes is a problem, like if you introduce guns to a beat 'em up, they can unbalance it too much. And it's such a simple idea. I think it's basically just extending the reach of your basic attacks beyond the, like, where they appear to extend. We've heard Lux Latalis got an American Laserdisc console. Oh! Yeah, I hope that streams too. Looks like. Yeah, are there people out there? I wish I knew. We should get out of here. Yeah, I guess you're right. Wait, what? Look out, Jill, here they come. Oh, Hunter. What is that? Yeah. It's like a giant gorilla bear. Whatever it is, it's ridiculously overpowered and it should go back to Rampage World Tour. Ridiculously overpowered. But that would be, wow, like an actual Laserdisc console. So I know there were a couple of those, and actually my friend Scott used to work designing, like writing games for one of them, like the scripts. I can't remember which one. I always said, like, Tim, I wish you'd kept copies of those Laserdiscs you worked on. Yeah, playing Mad Dog McCree like it was meant to be played. Holy. Oh yeah, I haven't heard that name in a long time, Ashen. I've tried streaming a couple of those. Well, the PC, I guess the later PC ports of those games, like the early 2000s ones. The ones I played are still, I mean, not great, but still pretty fun. Damn. This game is brutal. It is a trip. I always think how much fun it would be to, you know, make a game like that or to act in a game like that. They look like they were having a lot of fun. Oh, you streamed the Sega CD version of Mad Dog. Nice. Because the Sega CD, I've heard that one's harder. And it's harder to make out, like, that the bad guys are sometimes. Crimson. Hey, where's your brother Clover? But even with their shortcomings, you know, those games aren't super long. I feel like they have decent replay value. Oh, the gun was way off on the Sega CD one. That's frustrating. And I know on the PC port, there were one or two bad guys where it was like, you really did have to memorize when he was coming on and, you know, shoot before you thought it was time. It'd be interesting to see if the original Laserdisc version was, you know, some of the deaths were that cheap. Especially the home console Laserdisc, where they weren't, you know, trying to just get your money. Because you'd already paid them your money. In spades, I imagine. No. Yeah, like Bloodbath at Red Falls. That's one of those games I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to find a big box version of that for the PC. But I hope I don't before I can afford it. These guys take out half your life bar with one shot. Yeah, big box. And since I like big box games, and especially rail shooters, that's one of those things I'm like, one of these days I'll have every rail shooter ever made for the computer. One of these days. Elevator inside a cave? But this should lead up, so we can get out of this goddamn death place. That seems logical, Jill. Let's go. Wait, we're in a mansion? Let's look in the rooms to see if anyone's here. Sounds like a plan of action, and maybe we'll find some typewriter ribbons. Those are tasty. Lurk? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the lurk, Hession, and I appreciate you hanging out. Ooh, have to start audit. That sounds ominous. Not a rail shooter so much as a JPG shooter. Right. I guess I kind of lump rail shooters and shooting gallery style games in together. Notice that Crimson guy doesn't get knocked over as easily. It's interesting, it's like the shot that reloads is the one that knocks them down. Is that? Yeah, that was my last continue. It's tougher than I would have anticipated. I mean, that's kind of good. Oh yeah, you kind of make that distinction, but the principles of gameplay share a lot. Yeah, with the rail shooters and FMV light gun shooters and shooting gallery. Because also with Mad Dog, it was pretty much none of it was, like the actual shooting things were almost all stationary, I think. Like, whereas with some like Crime Patrol, it was more like a rail shooter, you would be moving and then they would pop up as you moved. I guess Mad Dog came earlier. need to move more. Ooh, Lethal Enforcers for the SNES. That's awesome, Hessian. I have it for the Genesis, but I could never get my damned justifier to work. Oh, and Time Crisis for PS1. Likewise, I have Time Crisis, and Time Crisis 2 and 3, but not a working gun. Those would be so fun to stream, like light gun games. Oh, you use Justifier 2 backlog. Nice. And actually, Lethal Enforcers 2 is the only arcade game I have, because I got it for like dirt cheap. And I'm hoping I can actually stream the arcade game at some point when I'm back home, before I get rid of it. And, oh, all the Time Crisis games. And House of the Dead 2 on Dreamcast. And a gun con for each. House of the Dead. Have I tried? I don't think I've tried the Dreamcast House of the Dead, but I've heard that's a good port. That must be a lot of fun to play. Cerberus. Oh, you have House of the Dead 2 and 3 on the Wii. And Point Blank, that's right. Because that was in, I think that was in, yeah, that was in the arcade too. And you have the PS1 version, Hessian? That's cool. Especially if it had light gun support. It's a really interesting, like, collection of largely stationary mini games. So many great games. Oh, you don't have a lot of your PS1 stuff anymore. Oh, you have Zombies Revenge backlog? Wow. I played that in the arcade once. I'm like, this looks like a House of the Dead 2 game. I didn't know it got a port. Yeah, you should do a House of the Dead 2 game. Only way out to find stuff, Jill, is, of course, search. That would be cool, Hessian. It's hard to get... Oh, Typing of the Dead. I was going to say, I did a House of the Dead stream, and it was hard to get it working on Windows 10. But Typing of the Dead, that would be fun. Oh, the Windows 98 Typing of the Dead works. Nice. Like, geez, never mind Mario teaches typing, never mind Mavis Beacon. Give those 6-year-olds Typing of the Dead. Hey, they'll be doing 60 words a minute in no time. Oh, you need a better graphics card. It'd be cool if I could learn how to stream from older machines. Oh, right. House of the Dead, or Typing of the Dead Overkill is on stream. Nice. I guess the only House of the Deads I have are one, because it came with some light gun that only works on CRT monitors, and then 3. I got it cheap somewhere. I just kick myself for not buying the big box House of the Dead 2 from GameStop. You can unlock the original from Typing the Dead Overkill. Yeah, I'd seen that too, backlog. Maybe it's only on the CD-ROM version or a console version, but yeah, that's what I thought. It was released like Overkill itself never got a release because it was included with Typing Overkill. I wouldn't say this game is too hard. I think it just takes some practice to get used to the style. And like the fact that the finishing move doesn't always knock them down. Ugh, those big guys. Unlock House the Dead Overkill within Typing of the Dead Overkill. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I thought that was what you were saying, that was possible. I did play House of the Dead 4 in an arcade once, like a few years back. I think it was 4. I mean 4 or 5 or Overkill, I don't know. It had a thing where you actually had to shake the gun to get the zombies off you sometimes. House of the Dead 4 is lit. Yeah. Some of those modern arcade rail shooters are just so awesome. Oh, it's on PS3 using the Move. Ah. Makes me want to get a PS3. Hey, Seacross. Thanks for coming in. How are you doing? Hey, they used the Streets of Rage music for Game Over. Nice. Good. Everybody, please go check out Seacross, who streams some Wii adventure games, some hardware stuff, some chickens. Always a good time in his stream. Ah, it's digital only backlog. Gotcha, I had forgotten that was... The PS3 had digital only games. Well... Chickens pooping on me. Yeah, that's... Well, my grandfather used to talk about chicken shit in the army, and now I guess we know what he was talking about. And House of the Dead 5 is arcade only. Gotcha. Sprays gas at you. It's fun. But, hold on, let me... No, like I would play through another round of that, but I should probably wrap up since I think it's probably been about 2 hours, and you know, this is supposed to be Short Horror Saturday, but at some future date I may have another go at Crisis Evil and also try Crisis Evil 2, which is made by the same developer, similar style, but just for Resident Evil 2. And oh, that's what I should do. And I keep forgetting. I had intended when I got 50 followers to do a game giveaway, and then I forgot because I got 50 followers, like a couple of people followed me after I'd finished streaming, and then I kept forgetting. So, I'm going to give away a copy of Necronomicon, which is an adventure game from circa 2000. Is it a good game? It's a game. With a slightly cracked jewel case. So, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100, and you all can go ahead and put your guesses in chat. And, oh, thank you, Backlog. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm surprised I reached 50, but it just means a lot to me that enough people are interested enough to follow and keep watching. But yeah, put your guesses in chat and I'll give you guys a minute, and then I'll go ahead and open this and see what the number is. And actually I can't remember what it is because I wrote it down a couple weeks ago. Oh, thanks, Seacross, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I know, it's I tend to stream unusual games, since, yeah, I figure show people stuff they wouldn't normally see and maybe they'll be more interested in them. Also, I tend to be interested in older games and a wide variety of games, so try and play what I'm interested in, just not the excessively weird stuff. The Price is Right stats. Always just go slightly higher than the previous one. And then after that we'll go ahead and raid my friend who's doing his first stream. Okay, no more guesses. I'll go ahead and unwrap this. 10 seconds, folks. Last 10 seconds. Get your guesses in to win a copy of Necronomicon for the PC. It's based on H.P. Lovecraft, and there's never been an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work that wasn't good, right? Terrible horror movies. The number is 16. And a conveniently placed runabout. God knows where I got this scrap of paper. Thank you. So, yes, Backlog 1. So, go ahead and send me your address, Backlog, and I will get that in the mail soon. I send it as a Whisper or Discord, whatever. And thank you to everybody who followed my stream and, you know, comes to watch or lurk and everything. It really means a lot. Uwe Bollbad. I think there have been some that have been worse than Uwe Bollbad. You get a recognizable horror writer, work in public domain, it's gonna get cannibalized. Aw. Probably play it better. Hopefully it still works on modern computers, I mean, with tweaking. I did get a re-release on Steam. The sound works, yeah. Of course, if you're using a Windows 98 computer, you probably won't need VDM sound or what have you. So, as I think I had mentioned before, my good friend Perpsel is doing his first stream ever tonight. He's a sort of mystical, like a Weir Fox spirit who's a VTuber, and he's playing Resident Evil 7 because, you know, want to get caught up on everything before you turn to Resident Evil 8. And yeah, Backlog has the Windows 98 PC. So that's perfect. Yeah, non-DOS shouldn't be a problem. It was DOS when you got to Windows 98 that started to cause problems. Slightly more so on XP. go ahead and bring up Twitch and get ready for this raid. And, oh yeah, everybody, I've signed up for Twitter. It's in my, it's in my description if you want to follow it. I don't really post that much, just occasional silly things. Oh. So apparently he did a rather short stream, and he's already done. And here I was worried that I would be raiding him. Didn't want to raid him too early in his stream, and I missed his stream. Like a blithering idiot. Well. Well. We'll raid Purposeful some other day, but you all should go follow him. He's a great guy. And, hey, he plays Resident Evil. I'm told that Resident Evil is pretty good. Crisis Evil is pretty good. Oh, thank you, Seacross. And Twitter is where you waste time reading things that don't matter about people you don't know. I think that sums it up pretty well. I always thought that Twitter was a bit of a time waster thing, but just because my mother was so addicted to it. I'm still figuring out how to use it, and kind of post dumb, silly things or random comments, I guess. Yeah, same backlog. And did you know that when you post something on Twitter, you can't then edit it? So if there's a typo and you catch it later, it's just, there's going to be a typo forever. As they say in BioShock, I don't like it, Mr. Bubbles! Yeah, like, fix that, Twitter. Oh, hey there, Havoc. Yeah, it's really a huge pain, but I guess I should just be better about not having typos, or not typing very much. You can only use 140 characters, or 140 words, or whatever it is. I don't know, I'm sure there are reasons behind it. I'm going to start using Twitter more, I think. Or trying to. Oh, yeah, until your work marathon ends. But hey, it's only a few more days, right? You said Tuesday? Coming up soon. Yeah, tomorrow is Sunday. Let's see. I thought Old School Jay was streaming Trespasser today, but maybe he already finished. Trying looking for who else to raid. Can't wait to stream again. Yeah, it'll be good when you get to backlog. Oh, tonight's your Friday. So we done early this morning and then off till Tuesday. Oh, that's awesome. It's good you have a couple days off to look forward to. Excuse me. should we raid? Do you guys have any suggestions for people to raid? Huh, that's weird. It's only displaying. Computers, man. Oh, wait. Oh, now it's showing more. Okay. Ah, we rated him pretty recently. We rated her last week. Oh, they're doing a charity stream. Oh. And that's... Sorry, which one is that? Oh, Retro Game Commander. Gotcha. Okay, well, let's go ahead and raid them. That's for lupus. Well, that's a good cause. It's always nice to send people over to charity streams, support those. What's he playing? Speedrun practice for... something. It was... Looks like Smash Brothers. Oh, it's a double-edged sword for lupus patients to take the COVID vaccine? Oh. I didn't know about that. Should read up on that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and raid Retro Game Commander. Right, they're immunocompromised by default. That makes sense. Hey, it's working. Good. Well, then I'll go ahead and wrap up. And thank you guys for coming by for another short horror Saturday and for chatting or lurking and just hanging out. It means a lot. And sorry we didn't get to raid Purpsel, but we will next time, hopefully. And, oh right, tomorrow I'll be streaming. Well, I've got a couple games I could choose from. Maybe Red Jack if I can get it working well enough on this computer. But oh, thank you. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for coming in, Seacross. No worries. And yeah, thank you, Backlog. I hope everybody has a good night. I'm Purblind Gamer. I stream horror and retro and random ass shit. And oops. Yeah, everybody have a good night, and please say hi to Retro Game Commander.